Hey there, how's it going? I'm going to talk you through a Clash of Clans raiding strategy today. This is a farming strategy, so what that means for any newbies is where you're just going to go ahead and focus on resources, and pretty much resources only. You don't care about destroying the town hall or any of the defences in particular. You're literally just going after every single scrap of gold or elixir that you can get your hands on. Brilliant if you're expanding your base, if you want to buy new defences, if you want to upgrade defences, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that costs real money. This is a really great way of getting that money fairly quickly without resorting to buying gems. So, as I said, this is called a farming strategy, and the one particular variation of farming I'm going to show you today in this video is the pumps and mines. Now, these can often be bases that have been abandoned by the player. Maybe the player has left the game, maybe they've been logged off for a couple of days, and all the gold and all the elixir is going to be in those pumps and mines around the edge. And this is a brilliant way of getting the maximum amount of gold and elixir for the minimum number of spend on your army. So this raid you're watching at the moment I'm doing with my Town Hall 7 account, and I worked out that the goblins and archers I used cost me 7,280 elixir, and I'm going to gain just under, I think it's just under a quarter, half a million in resources. Yeah, 500,000 in resources. So as you can see, I've destroyed all the pumps and mines, and I am, in this particular instance, trying to get a star on this so I don't lose all my trophies. So I'm trying to destroy the town hall, and I've got some archers in place where I can do that. But what I was doing previously was going around and knocking out all of those pumps and mines. As you can see, they've all been destroyed around the edge. Also, interestingly, as you can see, there's not much in his storages. So in this particular strategy, where you're finding these bases with a large number of resources, often there's not a lot in the storages. You can see there's about 30,000 in elixir, and that will cost me a lot more in terms of troops to get that, but there really isn't worth going after. So I'm going to go ahead up here and try and get 50%. I'm going to go for 2 stars on this base. So clearly I needed the stars. Maybe I'd had a few a few raids. But how can you tell where all the stuff's in the pumps and mines? Well, I'll show you that in a bit. But you notice this guy, he's not in a league. You see up in the top left, his league emblem is blank. So that's a good indication he hasn't logged on for a while. So that's one of the definite ways that you can tell. So I've got 2 stars on this base, destroy the town hall, got 50%, and I've got an absolute ton of resources. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you another raid. So I'm going to raid here Garcia 7. I hope I pronounced that right. And I'm going to use some giants, still going to use the goblins and the archers, and I'm just going to use a few barbs as well on this one. Okay, so let's get into it. So when I first found this base, you can see all around the elixir collectors are full, and that is a really great way of telling. Sometimes there's a bit of a glitch in the game and you can't tell just by looking at the elixir collectors, but this particular set of elixir collectors were absolutely full to the brim. Also, again, notice that his shield is blank, so he's not in a league, so perhaps he hasn't played for a while. So what I did there was I started off by dropping a giant to distract the defences, and then I just absolutely pummeled those mines and pumps with archers and goblins. Again, if you look over the top hand, there goes 2 giants up in the top right, and I'm sending some goblins in, and whilst the defences are hammering away at those giants, those goblins are going to go around and clean up those pumps and mines. For whatever reason, the game mechanics is that the defences will always be attracted to the giants. And whilst they do cost quite a lot of money in terms of what you're doing, always balance that off with the amount of resources that you're actually bagging in these raids. So the archers are just finishing up there, but I've pretty much cleared up all these pumps and mines here, so I am going to go and try and get a star on this one. So I'm going to try and get another few percentage points by finishing off that cannon. Looks like I'm going to need 2%, so I'm going to have to hunt around for some easy soft target. So I'm going to send some barbs in to try and destroy that camp. They've also got slightly distracted by that clan castle there, but never mind. And we've gone ahead and got 50%. So we've lost no trophies. We're actually going to gain a few on this one. So that's going to be pretty useful. So all in all, ended up with a ton of resources, about 300,000, and 8 trophies as well, which is really cool. And again, not cost me a great deal in terms of elixir for the troops. Okay, so let's look at another one. Cal. Again, similar strategy. I'm going to place a giant or two, and then I'm going to charge in with some goblins and with some archers. Okay, so here we go. So luckily this guy has lined up all his collectors and his mines for me in a nice row, which means I don't have to worry too much about running around the whole base. So I can just drop a giant to distract, drop a ton of archers and a ton of goblins, and they're going to go around and clean up. Now he has got some walls up there, so I'm just going to drop my archers to shoot over those walls. There's no point dropping goblins. I did drop a couple of goblins just to try and get in there, but probably ran out of archers at that point. But the archers you see are cleaning up quite a lot. So yeah, I'm probably out of archers now, so I'm heading in with some goblins just to finish off. Didn't bother with a wall breaker. They're really expensive for this type of raid, and now those goblins were out of range of any half decent defences, so they were easily able to get through that weak wall there. So another decent raid, another 300,000 in resources, and again didn't spend a great deal to do it. So those last 2 raids were kind of 2 Town Hall 8s. This is a Town Hall 7, and again they're only 4-star and 3-star troops, but you can do this at any level Town Hall. I wouldn't worry too much about, oh, it's only a Town Hall 8, or it's Town Hall 7, it must be really easy. Well, you can do them at Town Hall 5, 6 as well. Again, this principle is really simple. You're just going to send some guys in to distract. Giants are the best, but if you don't want to spend money on giants, you can just use some barbarians to distract as well. Now this one was slightly different because this guy had his resources behind walls. So his pumps and mines were actually behind the walls. So it made it a bit trickier to get to, so I had to use some wall breakers. So I did was I dropped some giants, threw a wall breaker in, and then just dropped my goblins and my archers as per normal to go in and take them out. So that giant's still alive, you see in the bottom there, and those goblins are going to go in and take out that collector there, and then they're going to zoom round. Dropped another giant up the top to distract those defences up there while I send some more goblins in through the gap at the bottom, and they're going to go and right under the nose of those defences to steal everything out of that collector. Okay, so that's so far so good. So another wall breaker in there. It was a bit dumb actually, it should have gone along a bit further, but never mind. So drop some more giants and then drop a couple more wall breakers to try and get through that wall there. Oh, they just got zapped, never mind. I'm going to throw some archers in now instead to distract those guys and try and shoot over the top, and we're finally through that wall, and in come the goblins now to sort the rest of that mine out. So that only leaves a few collectors left now, right up the top. So these guys are going to finish off. Now the archers, I've just chucked a load of archers in there, see if they can get shoot over the walls to get those collectors there. I also dropped a barb down the bottom to see if I can get 50% by just destroying that free camp down there. So he's going to go and do some work there. Which is a bit... Right, so I'm having another think about what to do here clearly. So there's a... decided to try and get 50% on this base, so I've gone ahead and dropped a barbarian at the top as well, top right, from that army camp. And now I'm going to send some more goblins in to try and finish off that collector up there. And then some more down in that bottom corner there. That wizard tower's working away on them, but finish that collector off there. So I might get to 50% on this base. I'm kind of hoping that I will, but those barbs are going to take down that clan castle. But I think it's going to be too little, too late. Yeah, I lost the trophies. But hey, when you're doing this, it's not really about the trophies. It's all about the resources. Hope that was helpful. Leave a like or a comment. Cheers.